but at heart, all furries love anthropomorphic art, like, yes. There are genderless things. I don't get it personally, but whatever. Yeah. I mean, it goes back as far as Anubis. I'm sure that there are much older examples, but that's the earliest one. There we go. Earliest one I can think of off the top of my head. But like Anubis is basically furry. With a little twist on it. The Minotaur. Any other examples? Taurus. Of course. And other such things.
Mermaid.
Oh yeah, and then there's modern references all over the place. Just play League of Legends. I don't know what team it is.
He's a Yordle! You don't want him. Yeah.
Teemo's gonna be in the next Assassin's Creed game. I hope so. But yeah, just generally, lovers of anthropomorphic art. It goes from as little as wearing ears or just liking the art. Some people don't. Some people go as furtails. Yes, I have one of those. Yay. All the way up to fursuiting in either full suits, like Scooby, or like quad suiting. There we go. We don't have one of those examples though at the moment. I gotta go get one. I'd be so happy right now. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just really tired. All right. Yes, Sunday. I'm too depressed. I don't want to go home. Who wants to hang out here for the next week?
Yeah!
Awesome. Anyway, yeah, like I said, there's different levels of it. Some people, like a friend of mine, Sharp, she wears a full suit. She looks like a ferret. She does not identify as furry. She just likes the fursuiting aspect of it. Furry is all self-identification. If you dress up in a full suit and you choose not to be furry, then you're not furry. You're choosing to call yourself furry. No one else can say that for you. Just because you wear a pair of ears or a tail or whatever else, you don't have to identify that. That's it. With that comes a bad reputation, unfortunately, which has to be addressed at some point. CSI? A Thousand Ways to Die, which is just basically CSI all over again, unfortunately. Though A Thousand Ways to Die does bring up a good point. It's water. And that goes for everyone. Like, I'm sorry. CSI, they had an episode in which they did I think it was called PatCon, huh? Yeah. Boston, right? That sounds like a new con. Yeah, it took place in Vegas, and basically they went to arrest someone at a furry convention, which is basically Acen, only a lot smaller, and a lot of that, and a couple others. No one else hears this crackling, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Anyway, they portrayed furries in a very, actually quite a vulgar way. Basically that everyone in a suit has sex in that suit in random rooms and hotels, and that's why we go to the cons, which is completely untrue for about 95% of the population. Granted, no, I mean, there are people who will do that. There are people at Acen that will do that with their ridiculously expensive cosplays. There's always a group that will do that, no matter what fandom you go into. And this fandom really isn't any different. Besides those rumors, these people love to be hugged. I think that was a yes. It's more along the lines of sorry, I lost my original notes and I wrote up a bunch. They're not working very well. Anyway, back to cons. Let's go with cons. Furry cons. We've got one in November, right here in the hotel. Yep. And it's going to be held on the 17th of this year. If you want to come, yay. All of the money goes to charity, unlike Acen. I'm not saying anything more about that. Anyway, yeah, we go to cons, we have a lot of fun, dancing until someone passes out, and that happens a lot. Oh, God, yes. Especially in the full suits, like Scooby's. If Scooby dances for a couple hours and doesn't drink, then she passes out and she goes to the hospital and she wonders why the con's over. I feel like I missed one important topic. Questions on that. Like, I'm being super slow today, and yes, general meets. Besides the cons, that's not obviously the only place we meet. I cannot just do it like once a year. I would die. I ain't picking all that up. That's what customer service is for. Hello, Hyatt. Yeah. To the point of cons, we also have meets, regular meets. Every week we meet up somewhere, every month we go bowling at Downers Grove. We do this kind of thing, it's just all in good fun. We don't go to these places to talk about deviant things. I'm not getting any further involved in that. Yeah, we don't go talking about dirty things or anything like that. We just go to meet up, have coffee. It's just a familiar mindset that feels better for us. Like, I'm sure you have anime friends and that sort of thing that you hang out with and talk about anime and just do other things. Like, you don't just talk about anime. It's the same thing with us. Granted, we go fursuiting a lot more often, and that might look weird, but it's more fun. Sometimes, like, our personal one meets up at Oak Park on Fridays. We don't go suiting at Caribou Coffee. That would be really bad for our reputation considering we go there every week. If we go somewhere like Chuck E. Cheese, we'll dress up sometimes. Yes, we have gone to Chuck E. Cheese. And sometimes we went into Best Buy before, we've gone other places after we've had our coffees and we've got together. It's just all good fun.
Have you ever gotten in trouble for wearing the suit?
Yeah, we make sure that they're okay with it. We either bring in like a partial and make sure they're okay with it, or we directly ask them, hey, can we bring this person in? Especially in places like malls or other areas where there are likely to be security, we ask before we do anything. Because we don't want to disrupt business anywhere. Granted, we'll get a couple photos and that'll slow people down, but we don't want to cause slow traffic, like Acen, or any of that other stuff to inconvenience owners of businesses, and we don't want to get any worse a rep than we have from bad sources. Online, yeah. That's a good one. Yes, online you can find everything, just everything actually. But yeah, a lot of the furry communities around here, like the cons, they all started online. They probably started online, I don't know. I'm sorry about that. But all of this kind of stuff starts online. A lot of people are still closet furries, which means that they're online all the time talking to other furries, but they don't come out and admit it. I come out and admit it because why not? It's more fun like this. We have for affinity, basically unique art for weirdos like us. And yeah, a lot of it is, like I said before, artwork for us. A lot of people will self-identify as furries just for the art. I'm not looking at any particular sites right now because a lot of them include bad images, which, yeah. Well, let's just go with Fur Affinity because that's age restricted. That works. Furaffinity.net and all that good stuff. Okay then, Tumblr. I think they actually have a guys Tumblr.com. Okay, so we got cleanfurry.com, Tumblr.com.
Is there like a revolving door with the furry world and let's say employment that let's say Six Flags is somewhere where somebody's dressed as a costume player in full animal suit gear? It's like a revolving door. Like somebody would be employed there, get interested, become a furry, be a furry, and then seek that job.
Sometimes, like Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is a perfect example of that. A lot of us create our own characters in due time. As for employment at Six Flags and stuff, that's not usually how it starts. It sometimes ends up that way though. A friend of ours, Scrat, you may have seen him within the last couple of years at the con. Black and green kangaroo, and he always dances out in the lobby. He's gotten employment as mascots for random stores and stuff. He's a very good performance artist, so that's also part of it. It's not just obviously the suit. It takes a little bit of practice to dance, as I'm sure some of you know. Like I said, we need practice. And as such, but yeah, a lot of people, like, I guess going back to roots, is we started with Looney Tunes. All the 90s kids. We all started on Looney Tunes, and that may have been something to us. I don't know.
Blame Disney.
Disney, yes.
Oh, God, Disney. No, that's a lie. And then we all wanted to kill Scar, so, yeah.
Hey, speak for yourself, man. Scar is
He was.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, a lot of us started on that. A lot of the 90s kids did that. I think it was actually a big trigger for us because it seems like before that, the fandom was a lot smaller. I'm not saying I know all about it, but hey, Spooky, you guys know that?
I actually started off, I got my suit when I was in second grade, and I got it because I was volunteering for the junior walk guy in northern Indiana. And I think when they were huge junior walk every year. And actually when we started taking these things and moving through,
So as I've been here, she started on, and I'm going to shorten it a little bit, don't remember JDRF. She started helping out with diabetes walks. I know. She got me on that.
It's okay.
Yeah, so she started with helping out and using the suit to sponsor that help. She goes on 2 walks a year to help cure diabetes. So let's give her a hand. I mean, there's a lot of things like that in the kind of we're trying actually to raise enough money right now so that way we can get a suit made for something for the Susan G. Komen walk here in Chicago. We wanted to get a custom suit for that. Either way, we're going to be participating, but we were hoping to get a custom suit to kind of improve our image around Chicago, at least. That would be a good start. Yeah.
The attraction to the furries, is it more so associated with the costume, or is it more so associated with the love of animals? Some kind of weird combination of both, and like you have like a high population of like PETA, stuff like that, anywhere.
It usually just I can't think of a single furry that doesn't love animals, and I'm pretty sure it started there for a lot of us. Along with Animaniacs and now making us maniacs. And yeah, from there it went from animals to artwork to suiting to all the other different things. It's a different story for each person. If you ask someone who they get into it, you won't get the same answer from anyone else. For example, I didn't start on diabetes walks. And I was a closet furry for probably a decade before I actually decided, hey, you know, why not give it a try? I heard about the FurCon here, and I decided to go. I loved it, so yeah, I decided to come out of the furry closet. As weird as that sounds. That's a fuzzy closet. Whole different thing.
You guys express your furry fandom through events and such, but how did
You need to get rid of
what was
that
the
rental
coming out
process
process
because
like, and how did you go about it?
time shit.
The coming out process isn't really. It's more a social pressure that keeps us in the closet, because, like I said before, we have a bad reputation due to social media. Vogue, there's been a lot of really bad articles written about us by, I mentioned Vogue, and then there was a couple other big magazines. Vanity Fair, that's the one I was looking for. Yeah, news reports. Yeah, those kind of things have kept us in the furry closet as it was, as it is. For a long time, just because we're afraid of the backlash we'll get if we tell people, look, I identify with a certain animal. I have my own persona, which I will explain in just a moment. And I'm going to conventions with a lot of people who wear ears and tails. That kind of thing will get severe backlash from certain social groups. Like, if you live really high class, you know, images, everything, and if someone learns about that, I know personally from experience that my parents were not happy about the whole affair, and they still try and keep it under wraps from the rest of our family. I don't really care. I don't care what my extended family thinks about me anymore, so it's whatever for me. Before I get too emotional. Persona. That's another part of the self-identification thing. This one sucks.
Look out.
Don't worry. This one's durable. My personal persona is Honey Fox, Nitro Husky, Scooby-Doo. For the most part, some people pursue it as like Scooby-Doo and other characters from it, but it's for the exact same reason, is that we identify with our characters. Certain races present certain traits, as it were. Foxes are very quiet loners. I think an Arctic fox more gentlemanly for me, as for regular foxes are a little bit more hyperactive.
They are.
But yeah, huskies are very, very playful. That neither. But yeah, there's different traits associated with each animal, basically based on the traits of the real animal. Like, if you've ever seen a husky, you never see it laying down. It either wants to bully you over or bump you on the leg until you actually do something. And the same goes for hybrids and such. It's where? Not distracting me. I'm a fox, I'm easily distracted. I've got ADD. And that's probably why I'm being a little bit slow here. Attention deficit or shame. Yes, anyway. But yeah, each one is self-identification. In my personal case, and from a couple other cases I've heard, it's projecting almost who we want to be. For example, Arctic Fox Anthro would be slim, I'm not. And more of a gentleman, more social, and honestly, my persona has helped me do that. Nitro, I don't know about you personally. I'm not going to make any claims for you. But it's all a matter of the maker and what they want their persona to project about them. Your persona always has qualities that you possess, and perhaps a few that you want to improve upon. You want to say something, or? Oh, I thought you wanted to say something. You just want to know. I see a tiger in the back. Hi, tiger. Is that a full suit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Want to come up and show it off? Yeah, let's get the full suiters up. Why not? Let's just make sure that I'm not paying for any of this, please. Oh, sure. Picture, you're all okay with pictures? Okay. So pictures are good. You're having fun. Yeah. But Nitro and kind of Scooby. Scooby actually has a full suit underneath, but Nitro is showing what would be what we consider a partial, which is just the head, paws, and he usually has feet paws on. He's just being lazy. And huh? Yeah, he's just wearing shoes. And where the other ones are considered full suiters, they have full body suits, eyes. Basically, it's just the difference of the full body suit instead of just the paws and arm things. Full suiters usually don't wear clothes, even decent people. Yes, that's what I was forgetting. Thank you. Fursuiter safety. Not one of these people can see well right now. Exactly. They have a very short range of vision, and the eyes that they have, they already can't see well out of forward, and they probably can't see directly in front of them. So, yeah, the big thing is approaching fursuiters. That was one of the bigger things I wanted to bring up, and I'm so glad I remembered. None of them have wide ranges of vision. They can barely hear, and they can only see forward for the most part. Oh yeah, and those suitors can see down. Yeah. Because usually there's always a blind spot right here, except in Scooby's case, because she looks at the mouth. Some of the bigger heads do. When you're approaching a fursuiter from behind, always give them a warning, because they're not always the most balanced when they can't see or hear or do anything. When approaching from the front, make sure they either see you or maybe like touch them or something. Not inappropriately. Cosplay is not consent. Yes, very careful with the tails, please. That's not good. Don't yank on their paws, those sometimes come off. Anything in particular I'm forgetting? Very hot. Yes, most suitors will have a handler as well. Handlers? Yes. They'll be around. If someone near them tells you, I'm sorry, no more photos, we have to go, that's probably their handler, and it's probably because they're so dehydrated they're about to pass out. After about an hour or two in there, they will pass out if they don't get water. And that includes like raves and stuff when you see them at parties. So if someone tells you to get out of the way, they're not trying to be rude, they're just trying to get their suit of safety. Because at the fur cons, how many ambulances do we get for heat exhaustion?
Wow.
Not even joking, we probably get about 10 during the con, and that's only because we have lower attendance than, say, Acen. Oh god, and Anthrocon is the biggest one in the U.S. It takes place in Pittsburgh and
without drinking water
on pretty good days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one's a whole another deal.
No,
Sure. I don't understand the mouthpieces. I was introduced to them.
The moving jaw is specially constructed. Mine. The construction methods in that are a little bit. Actually, the construction methods in all of them are pretty different from what I can see. Nitro here has a foam base, which means that he has basically green furniture foam. I guess that is. Yeah, mine is all green furniture foam, and a balaclava underneath, which is basically a ski mask. And yeah, that's about it. I just noticed that button, and that's really disturbing. Thank you. Anyway, It looks like the tiger has a resin base, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, resin base, basically really hard plastic. She has no more mana left for this. Yes. Yeah. Which happens on and off. Some people wear Under Armour, some people wear clothes. Like I said, it gets really hot under there, and after a while they will pass out if they don't do that. Sometimes they'll be heading in the middle of a con just to make sure they don't pass out, and sometimes they just are stubborn. A lot of us are stubborn. Yeah, some people also install fans in their heads because they get extremely hot. Yeah, mine has very little.
I'm sorry to ask about this. Do they specialize different furry suits that are specialized clothes?
That's actually a pretty good question along the lines of fursuit makers. There's more than I can count. Yes, but there are a couple of good fursuit makers. You guys want to list them off? Yeah, Don't Hug Cacti is huge. If you see very, very cute kitties, it's usually her. Okay, Eddie-Con, which I like that, by the way. It's very nice. And hers uses tear ducts instead of the actual eyes. She has, like, the same mesh that I do in my eyes. Let me rip my eye out. It's just see-through material. I forget what they call this. Buckram? Buckram. It's like buckram or like almost fencing that they use, and they put it in the eye, either make it the eye in some cases, or they put it like inside the eye. Yeah, and those ranges of vision are extremely limited. And
Mine is a kind of Frankenstein. I had a partial first and then had a full suit made later. So I have two different firsts. The head and the tails and the paws are Draconic Knight.
yeah, Draconic Knight is one actually, and she's very good at what she does. And then the bodysuit from it. Yeah, if you've seen the zombie furry around, the one with the brains, it's also Draconic Knight. And that is I think that's a resin base, right?
Yep. She does all of hers on resin.
Yeah. That one's resin. Another local Kiata uses resin as well. Either way, you have to be careful, especially when approaching their heads, because foam can be ripped off. It's just glued on, basically, if you have a balaclava base. Resin can crack if it's hit the wrong way.
Or if you hug them and twist their nose.
Noses are special.
Or the bottom jaw.
I'm not showing you my nose.
Right here.
Yes, all these guys, for the most part, have moving jaws, which means that they have some kind of mechanism that attaches here and will allow them to open their fursuit mouth whenever they talk. Those are extremely easy to screw up. The moving mouths? Mine kind of moves. I just yank open my mouth to breathe. Yeah. Yeah, the resin bases usually come with hinges on the inside to attach the bottom jaw to the top. Or is it? Oh. That's up to you. Also, these suits are very personal to each person. That's entirely up to the fursuiter, because this stuff is not cheap.
$2,000 for it.
Yeah, that's the general consensus on price, is about $2,000 for a full suit. I've seen them go up to $5,000, and in some very, very, very rare cases, $10,000 for one of these suits. Huh? I'm not paying $10,000 for one either, but I've seen suits go up to $10,000. $2,000 is the general consensus on a suit. They can go higher than that. Clockwork Creatures makes super realistic suits. Theirs go up to $5,000 depending on what you want. They have a very specialized order system. And regarding, I think I covered everything on safety, right? All right. Yes, just be very careful with that. Like I said, I don't want to pay for anything here. You will be held liable for break-ins. Was that your job? Oh.
I know I'm sure you don't have access to statistics, but just to your best knowledge, does it tend to always be mammals? Because whenever I try to think of a common, I always have a mammal, and that gives me a problem.
It tends to be mammals only because I figure they're easier to identify with. Because you know kind of almost stereotypically what the personality of a tiger or a lion or a bear, oh my, is. By the way, I know all of those particular words. But yeah, those kind of things are easier to identify with, and there are skills. There are insects. In fact, the leader, I hate using that word for him, of the fandom, he runs Anthropocon, Uncle Kage, is a Japanese cockroach. Yeah, I know. Can I shut down? This is like a little while ago, too. But yeah, it doesn't always have to be quasi creatures. It can be scaly creatures or exoskeletal creatures. And I've seen it get weirder into not creatures at all, but like bipedal planes. But that's not furries.
Are the suits fire retardant? And how fast can you get out of them?
No, very slowly.
Fire retardant is up to each suit maker. In general, its fur is going to burn. It's not exactly heat retardant either. You heat up in those suits like no tomorrow. Which is why we hold MFF in November. Because it's freezing out, so we need that. So I don't hold Trump Kage for hosting AC in July.
Pittsburgh is everything posted at 6 to 8 p.m.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah. But yeah, as for getting in and out of the suits, that's just taking practice. A suitor can get out in probably less than a minute if need be. So. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you really need to get out of it, we're all friends.
One big blurry family.
Yeah, that. Yeah, also, zippers coming from and back. It's a bigger on that one, too. Okay, and you had a question. A lot of people do that. It's not furry. Well, like I said, people aren't always regarded as furry. It's all self-identification. I'm assuming all these people identify as furry. Otherwise, I don't know why you bought those suits. Sharp is just an oddity to me. Oh yeah, we all need one of these. It's just a matter of affording it. Wow, I totally lost my train of thought. Ray Foxes, thank you. Regarding those kind of people, that just, it's like, Paw-Star is, I call it like quasi-furry. They have furry accessories.
That's it.
Yeah, like in the Necromemes too. Those are actually really cool. I want a pair. But yeah, those kind of things are like semi-quasi something furry. I know. Hear those on a suit.
No, that's what it's called. The fandom is Necromemes.
I thought it was Nicoshi.
Maybe.
There's like
But anyway, like there's a
Nobody
few
knows
Nako
about
and furry.
Because I mean,
in the
in
fact
those
that
essays where you find
you
out
don't see many
what
furries in
Yeah.
anime.hack and a couple others
I always
aside.
consider like Necromemes
That's
to be
awesome.
part of the furry thing.
Um,
Still animal ears and everything. It's usually what people start off.
pretty good.
But yeah, a lot of people just get the accessories to go watch movies, and it looks cool. I'll look at it, it looks cool. See people with tails and horns and everything, and all of a sudden,
She's
like,
everywhere.
what was it? Yeah, I'm, again, ADOS. It also applies to glowing stuff, yeah. But yeah, some people just buy the accessories to, like, it's it's not really identification for them, it's just gear.
The Wormwood character flag Halloween and Roman Monster.
No, I hate to be mean, but I started off with it. My best friend is strictly an Echo Cat girl, and we have been since the exact and he's like, you need some furry convention cat fur, which I want, and we got changed a bit, and we will, yeah, we got really bad black fur.
Really? Because there's so many people who just sell the cat and hotel stuff for free.
But there are some people who are like, oh, you don't
Those people are called stupid.
People are, I got a
If you
lot.
see that identified as a furry, then
There's so much drama.
Yeah, but
I mean, you have tools just like everyone else.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Oh, also, suitors, water. Yeah, the furry fandom is a little bit cliquish. Otakus are definitely cliquish.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry for all otakus, but you are.
I still call them so bad. Once I learned Japanese, I started calling myself that.
Once I learned that otaku was really a negative thing, then I
favorites. Do you have like in the furry world like a specific type of troll in your culture that goes around bringing people off, doing dumb stuff?
Yeah, but still bad
Jerk
there
person.
too, but
Yeah.
I like why.
A couple of these people that always pop up.
I do the candy
Or do most people
There are people who
actually
use things a lot. Still do my chocolates, and there's my tots. Either way, I'm not claiming to. Some people do stupid things and get a bad rep for it. Other people. Yeah, but those are. Yes, first of all, hugs and sometimes we take it too far. That happens at cons a lot. As for like.
Why does it say
Pretty much any kind
Anyway, like regarding tools, it's kind of like at con, not so much. There's some stupid things that people do, and IRT, just like Acen, jumps on them about it, as they should. Also, if IRT here is being mean to you, try MFF. Don't just IRT is doing a good job here. IRT does a good job. It's you can't diss them for doing their job, especially like today when they've been through a weekend of crap. So shout out to them. But yeah, there's trolls with us just like everything else. In person, it's mostly just doing stupid things. Out of person, it's more drama than anything. It's like people either create drama for themselves or they create drama for others by coming up with a bunch of BS. There's like a few targets that are made in the fandom, and then it's like those people can't get any break. It really sucks. But it's, well, like.
So nobody's actually like designed a character to be like a nemesis, like you had like a bad dog. So he would go around push others.
My character is actually an assassin.
So do you act like you're killing people? Why if you're gonna
I play D&D a lot, and so like my dungeon master is really nice because I want to be a furry. It's like I don't care what you look like, as long as you help. So I'm a rogue character, and I'm running the case that like all heck out of here. Yeah.
Catapult.
I've done that.
But yeah, as for like bad designed personalities, like to be evil or whatever, we have a couple. It's not. It doesn't really change it. Like cosplays. I mean, how many evil characters you ask them for photos, they're not going to say, no, I will smite you. The only person that I can think of that changes their personality based on their character is our very own Drama Llama, who isn't here this year. He just literally is angry at everyone the entire con just for the fun of it. And everyone enjoys it. It's not like a really bad thing. It's all in good fun. He's about the only one I can think of in particular that would have a character that he actually expresses in suits like that. Okay.
I can think of going if you're already talking about clicks and you're where people sit compared to for instance, you have people who more suited with apparel, you have people who look more Chandro where, Claude mostly want to be. You have then the anything you've seen from popular media, for instance, Sonic fans, another huge one of people just this is my pretty colored Sonic. There's the notion about the
Personally, the colored Sonic thing is just easier on doll makers. I know that if you've been on DIA, you've seen a doll maker before. The little flash games, you drag clothes on, you change the appearance, blah blah blah, and you create a character. Yay! There's a lot of Sonic doll makers out there. Some people actually like the Sonic characters and they use them as their own personas. Some people. But sorry, I'm losing my track of thought again. But anyway, as for the cliquishness of each group, I intermingle a lot, so I don't really see that.
What are your thoughts on cross-playing crews? Like a guy who loves that present wearing a female theme.
It's not a big issue. The furry fandom brings in more than just furries because of our acceptance. We bring in a lot of transgender, gay, bisexual, fusion down there. I don't know how else to explain that.
everything under the sun.
Yes, we bring in basically everything under the sun, and it's usually not a bad thing.
It was freaking
It's
gorgeous.
like we bring everything in. We got a couple more suitors. Yay! Hi.
Can you open the mouth? I'm recording.
There's water up here. There's cold water up here. How wouldn't you want cold water?
That's cool.
If you can drink that.
I don't want to hold it.
That's impressive. That's especially because he can't leave. Isn't that?
Camelback?
Well, as we drag in everyone else to the fandom, we also drag in bronies. I don't want to say we have to accept them, even though we kind of do. But there's a lot of people, there's a lot of cross between it. It's like a lot of furries are bronies, a lot of bronies are furries, which I guess is the exact same thing. I think it's just ignorance on the topic. Honestly, being a brony isn't a bad thing. Sure, it's a kid show, but do you know how many grown people watch Adventure Time? It may sound weird to compare the two, but it is the exact same thing when you get down to basics. My Little Pony, I've seen a couple episodes. It has all the epic drama that Adventure Time has. There's a bunch of combat, and then there's actually a lot of political commentary there too, but I'm not getting into that. But yeah, it's basically for the exact same reason. A lot of people, even a lot of ponies make their own pony sonas, which sounds really weird. I still
In person, it does.
Flash me. Nice. Alright.
Sorry, my voice is kind of bad today, but what do you guys think of people with like 2 or 3 personas? Because for example, I have 2 personas. One's a husky and the other one's Tropicus, which I've named her, which is an eastern ice dragon, husky and wolf hybrid. So I just wanted your opinion on what you guys think.
Multiple personality disorder? I personally have multiple personas. I have my main one, Sorry, buddy. That's a homemade suit, by the way. That's garbage. Hold up here. I was gonna pass this around, but it's still sweaty on the inside, and I'm sure you all don't want to feel sweat. Oh, you know what?
Everyone's sweat.
There. Yes. Just be careful about the ears. Don't yank them, please. An eye is still missing. I will leave it missing. Huh? Yes. It's horrid.
How do you get them clean?
Huh?
How do you get them clean?
Getting them clean?
Yeah, the cleaner?
It varies from suit to suit. Some of these suits are actually machine safe. Very, very few of them, but some of them are, from what I've
My
heard.
phone, like in my leg, is all velcroed in, like I have to velcro it out.
Yeah, you have digital right legs? Yeah, she has the more animalistic legs, which I want, by the way. That she has Velcro on the inside to make her legs look padded, so that way it looks like she's standing on 4 foot instead of actually on like her normal feet with a straight leg. And like, it varies from suit to suit, but like, is the suit machine washable?
Yeah, I would say.
How do you usually wash it? Dry clean?
Yeah, the dry cleaner, or I just buy
Actually, yeah, that's probably what most of us do. Because it is a pain in the wash.
I don't want to know the dry cleaner.
Because mine was airbrushed. So.
Yeah, some are airbrushed, some are actually painted with acrylic paint, which I found a good method. But anyway, yeah. Also, if you haven't figured it out, Q&A is completely open. I'm kind of off topic at this point, and my little schedule thingy failed me. So, and I think I've covered all the especially important topics. So, if you want to ask questions that are really freaking weird, go ahead. I don't care. So long as it's not going to bother any kids. Otherkin goes back to like the levels of her I was talking about. Like some people like her, some people don't. Some people get so into it that they don't consider themselves human. They consider themselves a human representation of an animal. Some people like they don't actually like. If I were Otherkin, I don't think I'm actually human. I think I'm like a fox's spirit trapped inside a human body. Which I don't mind. It's like it's taking identifying a bit far, but it's still a form of self-identification, and if you're happy with it, you're happy with it. Why not, right? I'm not going to begrudge anyone that. But yeah, Otherkin it's people look down on it, unfortunately. I'm a little bit more free will and cuckoo. But otherwise, yeah. I don't know what else I can really say about Otherkin, other than they get a lot of heat for actually being Otherkin. Well, as you see, not one of these suits up here is the same. It's more to identify you as you. A lot of people get a lot of badges. I kind of understand that. I've not worked $100 on badges. I'd rather spend it on like or something. But yeah, like I'm not a badge collector personally. Some people like to collect them, which is really cool, and I understand getting them from a variety of artists is absolutely awesome. Everyone has a different art style. Everyone has their own creativity. The little certified badge you see there and the husky over here are done by Mary Mouse. She does certified badges. Certified husky, certified. Oh, radical. That's right. You showed me that earlier. Forgot about that for a second. Yeah, just go back to like. Oh, it did.
Oh, for the love of meow.
Oh, okay, DJ, okay. I was like, what is this? I thought you were like head bumping or something like that. Yeah. Okay, we've got a whole party here in the corner. Anyone want to play music?
I'm not here for that.
He's another DJ. And he's a fuzzy suit.
No, I'm not now.
He refuses to admit it. We tease him.
I'm not a furry.
The fact that he says furry. Okay, but yeah. Anything else? Let's go from front to back.
Any good examples of furry animation?
Nineties cartoons. Just for a start. A recent one that came out, you probably haven't seen it yet, is Wolf Children.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing movie. Favorite.
Huh?
Any other examples that you guys can think of in particular? Good furry animation. Wolf's Rain. That's huge anime. Echimuyo? I don't know that one.
Oh, the cat. The cat.
No,
Not
seriously,
really.
that's huge on anime.
Yeah.
I'm here because I love cats. Well, I mean, if you look at one thing, like, we're a little bit, we hold ourselves a bit high, so it's like, oh, one furry. It's a furry show. Doesn't matter if it's like a fourth character. I can't think of any other shows in particular. So let's go.
I've seen that already. I just hope it's so good.
Which one?
Great that guy.
Great story. Assuming that some of you know it. I don't personally know that one,
He
unfortunately.
wasn't kidding when he said he was nice, but he can back it back.
Bye-bye.
We've got to get back up there at some point. Yeah.
Oh, Spice and Wolf.
Yes, Tommy Fox's head. Cool.
Okay, let's see here. Let's go back. Do you have the same question?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you playing with that?
Lots of naughtiness.
No, you stay in here until the panel's over. I can't afford to lose this year. Alright, bye-bye. Actually, we can thermostat in here. I don't know if I'm overheating or not. I'm liable for that. I think. They won't have paws and claws on. They can't mess with it. Okay, I will mess with that in a second, guys. If you need to drink, then drink. So long as it isn't booze, because this is my panel. Oh, you got it? Awesome. Yay, handlers are awesome. Let's give a round of applause for handlers. Okay, but yes.
So I heard you said that they have certified badges. Is there like a furry certification process?
No. Just the badges in general are just an example of badges. Mary Mouse sells those in like in large amounts.
Do you get anything less?
She just sells them. You buy them. It's just to show like either what species you are. I have one for Arctic fox. Or like how crazy you are. She literally has a certified
that's
insane.
based off of a
They're about $5 a piece.
Japanese live action series called Kamen Rider. So I made a character based on one of the Kamen Rider forms. It's like 1/3 hawk, 1/3 tiger, and 1/3 grasshopper.
I don't know.
If it's Kamen Rider is a tokusatsu series, I just want one of those certified toku for.
Anyway, no more confusion on that. Mary Mouse, you can find her.
Yes.
I have water. I'll get a spray bottle. I will get a spray bottle. Hey!
You're not allowed to leave.
Are you guys overheating? Step out. No, I'm serious. Do you actually need to step out? That's okay. Okay, let's see here. Any further backish? I know people here had questions. I'll go over that. Yep.
Business. How's the market for like products for like cooling and stuff like that? Do they have a lot of cooling products, or is there like an open market that you can win?
Like suiting, cooling.
Like you have the furry suit, and let's say like if you got for PC cooling, they got the fans and they got the water cooling. So if you would have some kind of battery pack, water cooling, scalpel thing, whatever.
The market market for those is actually on a suit-by-suit basis. Certain suits can take it. Nitro's is in the nose, like actually in the nose, not in the mouth, but his fan is built into his nose. Some suits can't handle a fan, simply because of the mouth restrictions or other restrictions in the suit that won't allow a fan to be put in, maybe like for lack of a battery pack or something else. Some people have even suggested intercoolers for suits. But those are restrictively expensive when we're spending $3,000 on a fursuit. We don't really want to spend any for cheap.
You guys do the camelback? Would that fit your guys' suit, or you afraid of the
Camelbacks don't fit unless it's like a body-formed suit, which I really haven't seen any super restricted suits lately. But yeah, you should be able to fit a camelback and sell your back somewhere. A lot of suitors do. It's just they're like $40, so not too cheap to get one personally, but yeah. All right.
I was just gonna say, you can buy very small fans. I'm not sure if they're designed for theaters, but they have all different sizes at like Radio Shack, and they are very cheap and easy to work with.
Yeah, it's not a matter of like fan size, it's a matter of mounting. Like the resin base, if you can't just like stick a fan in there. If you try, eventually it'll just come forward and tear up your nose or something. Well, people have gotten desperate enough to end up in ambulances because of heat stroke. Ice packs, that's not one I've heard personally, but I'm sure people have. I'm sure that people have just gone, okay, I'm cool. But that's not. You're extra cool. Look what he did. What are you on the board? Look at your mind blinking. Alright, and I know you had a question. I'm sorry for skipping so long.
You guys are comfortable with the
that stipulation applies to extremely long tails. Some people have them, some people don't. Mine doesn't touch the ground. Yes, I have a tail. Some people have literally like 8-foot tails, or some of you might have seen the Naruto cosplayer that had 9 gigantic tails. Obviously, those need to be maintained. They don't want people stepping on them, ripping pants, and showing things that I don't want to say people don't want to see, but people shouldn't see. Because, yeah, there's perks in the anime conventions too, don't lie. But outside of that, yeah, we don't really have too many stipulations with our tails. For people that have longer tails, usually they're crafted either to be able to hold, or they could even be like sometimes wrapped around the leg or stitched to the leg. I saw someone who had about, I want to say, an 8-foot long tail, had a little wristband at the end of the tail, so she could just hang it on her wrist. Yeah, and some people do the posable skulls, and some people even take animatronic tails, but that's out of the price range for most suit makers. Are you trying to assault me?
No.
I'm gonna blame you for this. Let's see here. Any more questions? Weird, funny ones, I don't care.
How do you like find a hand order?
Your friend, and your friends will do it for free, so you don't
usually it's just a friend, and it'll like, I mean, you know what it's like to travel Acen in pairs. Like, usually you'll go with at least one other person or 2 other people. You'll usually see groups like that. All you have to do is ask a friend, hey, will you do this for me? You don't need to do much. All you need to do is direct me somewhere if I'm about to crash into something or someone that I can't see down. Especially like short people, sorry. But oh. Okay, don't worry, we still have the rubber band. But yeah, handlers are just usually just friends helping out on making sure that people don't overheat. They'll also be the ones, like I said before, to direct traffic away from suitors if they need to get the heck out of like the con center or whatever. As for what's in it for the suitor, it's mostly just helping out, lots of hugs, and the immense gratitude of suitors and convention goers alike. Yeah, that's actually about it. I actually haven't heard of any suitors being paid. That would be really weird. Actually, I probably shouldn't put that idea out. Anyway,
Paid with food.
yes. See, we just like to have a lot of fun. Oh, that's your camera. Okay. Questions. I don't care if they're weird or crazy or whatever. Yes. Oh, you mean like the fursuiting? Or like, do you mean like historically, or for each person when it's about students? Okay, the best answer I can give for that is Disney. I mean, have you ever seen a Goofy suit? Those things are awesome. Well, we were actually talking about this at New Year's Eve. We were watching New Year's Eve like on the TV at the convention we went to on New Year's Eve. You know, Brooke. But yeah, we were watching, so we were talking about fursuit design while we're seeing Goofy on TV, weirdest thing. And it's like individually blinking eyes, all this other stuff. We were talking design over it. It's kind of like, well, obviously Disney's probably the first one that did that just for promotion, or maybe not the first, but either way, it probably started out as promotion. I don't know much about it historically, but yeah. Yeah, animatronics played into it too. And then it's kind of like from there, it just. From what I understand, the fandom really got started in the 70s, as a branch off. Well, MFF started as a branch off of Geekon. I can't think of any earlier examples than that. Geekon. Did it start any earlier than that? The fandom in general. That's the best example I can come up with. Is Geekon had a rapidly growing anthropomorphic animal affiliation. Basically, furries started showing up. And then after a while, the furry population became so big that we said, screw it, we're making our own convention, and we did, and it became MFF in November. As for personal, I've seen people suiting as young as 11 and as old as easily over 80. I'm not sure of names. If you know names, shout them out. I've seen Lucario cosplayer at MFF. I know she's like no older than 15. I don't know her name. I've seen Lucario, also cosplays Lucario. He's much older, and he's still. Yeah, we're all crazy. I'm just trying to be entertaining and professional. That would be more professional. Yeah, I thought that water was going somewhere else. All I heard was it pouring, and I'm like, what are you doing? Anyway. But yeah, as for each person, it's kind of like an individual journey. It usually takes only a little while to come out of the furry class. Identifying as a furry is one thing. Getting over the pressure is another. Some people don't have a huge amount of pressure for that. It's like some people's parents are like, okay, you're gay, whatever. Oh my God, you don't have the right parts, whatever. So it's like.
My family doesn't.
Some people are still in the furry closet.
You know, I was like, well, Mom, Dad, I'm going to a furry camp. Okay, and then we went, it was the weekend before Thanksgiving. So we spoke to my grandma's house, and my dad said, Chelsea went to a furry camp.
Exactly. People's families will react differently. Some people are so scared to come out, just because of social pressure, even from your parents. And I'm sure you guys have experienced this. What, you dress up like some character from an anime, and you run around like a goofball all weekend, and you want to blow $400?
Yeah.
Nuts?
Well, it's because I do a lot of art, and so my parents are totally cool with it because it's a drawing and sewing, and it's kind of stuff where it's like, it's just what you do.
Okay, you're furry. Yeah, I'm just trolling him. He really is a good guy. He helps you get in and out of it. So maybe that helps you.
Would you consider identifying as furry as like strong as a sexual identification,
No, that one actually isn't too bad. It's more male, female. No, it can be. Like along the lines of other candidates actually past that point. A lot of people, like the cross-suiters, the people who are either male or female, and cosplay as another gender, or are transgender and choose to cosplay as either one or the other. That's basically the same thing. It's...
No, I mean like socially, like deciding you're a furry.
Like,
is that as big of a deal as deciding, like...
Deciding that I was a female?
You're deciding your gender.
Oh, and, yeah, it's either just as strong, if not stronger, because you're almost dedicating yourself to, I don't want to say a certain way of life, about, I'd say even as low as like 20% of furries actually go to cons and come out and do this kind of weird stuff. A lot of us still just go on the internet and be like, I'm a furry.
To better put it in the way that I think he's trying to say that, I think what he means is, for you, was it that being a furry means that it's just something that you just like to dress up in a fur outfit, see animals in the day, or is it that it's more philosophical piece that you identify as that animal?
I personally, when I'm out in a suit, I am Tommy. I will act as, I don't actually act as him. No, that's Tommy. Being a gentleman in a fursuit is kind of weird. But either way, it is a philosophical thing. It's a part of my personality. I can turn him on and off, and I usually keep him on because I have full range. So, for some people, it's not like that. Like I said, Sharp doesn't consider herself a furry. She just likes to go for fursuiting.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't have another personality associated with it. She just likes fuzzy things, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, we have 5 minutes. Let's do speed questions.
Yes. In terms of like suits, what is the general consensus of furries towards like anthropomorphic characters that don't require masks, like centaurs or mermaids or whatnot?
Probably still get a suit made. They'll find a way. Centaurs, mermaids, it's a little bit different, but either way, we accept anyone. I mean, anyone.
All degrees.
Yeah, it's all degrees of likeness. I've never seen a mermaid sitter at a convention, though, so I could be into it.
Well, and the lady
Well,
was
the fence is there.
Crystal walking back here. Crystal Marathon.
I'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah, Disney villains. If you see her, just go, yo, furry. She technically is furry, I mean, half octopus, I think. Half suction cuppy. And half woman. I don't know if you consider her a woman or not. Evil.
How does the furry community view the pet play community? Generally.
Ooh. You the what?
The pet play community.
What?
Pet play.
The what?
Pet play.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Not that many.
No.
No, I'm not laughing at the question. I'm sorry.
I would have learned that one from second grade.
Pet play is up and down. You'll see some people at FurCons wearing harnesses, not wearing harnesses. You'll see more of them at a FurCon only because there are fewer people. And yeah, we're a lot more accepting of it. It's like, okay, you've got a harness, big deal. I mean, around here you're not gonna see anyone with a harness. You'll see like people with leashes and it's like, okay, whatever. Some people will get angry with appearance. We're not gonna get angry at FurCon with it. Weird random questions there. I don't know. Quad suits are really, any of you from the Pokemon photo shoot? Yeah. Any at all? Yeah, there was a Suicune quad suit here earlier. They stand up on all fours, and then they have stilts that reach down to the ground, and they... Yeah.
There was also...
Yeah, I mean, the quad suits are really expensive. Those are probably among the most complicated. The most complicated bipedal suit I've ever seen, I would have to say, would have to be Oracle. Because, and honestly, that's probably one of my favorite suits. Oracle is a cervine-ish, like a deer-ish thing, and it has horns, yeah. I'm not even joking. It's probably pretty close to that. They just don't move quite like that. Okay.
So, I mean, just what happens brings another question to mind. Like, how close are you pushing, like, with mind, being use and everything, trying to explain things with your hands or whatnot?
Like, doing gestures and suit?
Yeah.
That all depends on the suitor. That all depends on the suitor. Some suitors, Scooby usually doesn't talk. She's usually all hand and stuff emotions. No one knows who's under the suit most of the time. Yeah. She started off as a mascot. So it's like, you don't talk in a Scooby suit. Some people refuse to talk, some people make noises. Anyone got any really cute noises? Kelster squeaks, Nitro squeaks. There are other people that make really weird noises. There's a microphone right there if you want to make weird noises into it.
Oh no.
No.
I can say my favorite one or something I left it in.
Okay, apparently no weird noises. I don't know. But yeah, that's all up to the fursuiter. We can make weird sounds. We can make no sounds at all.
Sure.
We can use a squeaker.
I was definitely watching that.
Like Nitro does.
How's it usually go for my good?
Oh. And yeah, it's just all kind of on each suitor. Sophia? Okay, make sounds anyway. There you go. Alright. One more question and we'll get out of here.
Do any of you have any memorable moments in your suit?
Memorable moments in a suit. Ooh. I'm not saying it's a bad question, it's actually a very good question. That's a lengthy question though, because each suitor has a lot of experiences for which can be very memorable. It can be something as simple as a raid, meeting your favorite fursuiter, or something of the sort. Otherwise, that's a big one for everyone. When I finally afford one. But if you want to take photos or anything, feel free to come out in the hall, please. Does this room get used right after this?
No, but we're shutting down.
Okay, do you want to take a couple minutes to shoot photos? Oh, sorry. Okay,
Guys,
so
go down
photos,
by the
please go.
escalators.
Yeah, please go out towards the escalators and do it, because the hallway sucks. any other questions you want to ask me or the suitors, if they allow it?
I really should do it.